Hey guys, it's Tepco Cycle Repair. Today I got a cool video. This is going to be comparing a China XR carburetor with a factory OEM carburetor. And when I open this one up, you'll see why I'm replacing it. It's shot. Alright, so on the outside doesn't look too bad, but I'll show you what happened on the inside. I got some moisture in it. So basically here is what we got here. This is the China carb. It comes in just a white plastic bag, and then it's in this box. So we're going to open it up and show you what we got and what comes in this this package. All right, so we got just a carburetor stuck in here, some foam holding it in place. Couple bags here to hold it, keep it safe. All right, so off the bat, you can tell it's a little bit different, but it's very similar. The first thing that I noticed is the choke lever is quite different, and one of the things I read up a bunch is that the choke lever hits the frame with this one, so I'm going to swap that choke lever out. You can see how much longer the one is on the factory one here. Also, I'm looking at the throat here and looking at the inside of the two of them. This looks like it has a bigger bore through it, the factory one, than the aftermarket. Yeah, so there you go. See, it's kind of easier for you to see. All right, there's the two right there. The bore size here, see if that's the same. That looks loose in there. Just get that out of there. All right, there's our top side by side. All right, let's open them up. So the factory OEM one here, like I said, it got water in it. It is all corroded inside here. All right, so this thing is all corroded and jacked up inside. It's a mess. So let's open up the new one. Off to a good start. The Phillips heads didn't strip right out. That's good. I'm using my favorite Snap-on T-handle screwdriver with a number 2 bit on it. Snap-on bit. It's got little teeth in it. It works really good. Alright, so here we are, the inside of the China carburetor. And here's the inside of the OEM carburetor. All right, different floats in there, but not really a big deal. Let's see what kind of jet sizes these have. All right, the China one, it's got a 75 main and a 33 pilot, and I believe this has a 35 pilot. See if I can see it here. Pull the main out and see what we got for main. All right, so the main jet on the factory is a 92. We got a 92 in this factory, and it's got a 75. I'm gonna have to swap that out. And also our pilot. See if I can get it with the screwdriver. The China carb is a 33, and I believe this one is a 35. Yeah, 35. So we got a 35 and a 92, and the China carb has a 33 and a 75. That's pretty different there. But we are talking about different throat sizes here, so you know we got a lot more air getting sucked through here, less here. So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to throw this China one on without touching anything, all right? Just the way it is shipped to my door. We're going to throw it on, we're going to check it out. I'll show you what's going on with the choke lever. I'll show you where, you know, what's going on, what it's hitting, what it's doing, and then we'll also just fire it up and see what it does. The only thing that's going to suck about that is that when we get gas in here and the gas touches this gasket, it's going to swell it up and it's going to make it difficult to put back on. So let me get this thing mounted all up and we will give it a shot. All right, so to get these out, it's real easy. What I have here, these are the two nuts that you use to hold the intake manifold to the carburetor. These China carburetors, they'll come with threads, okay, like this side here. See if you can see that right there. Okay, that's how they'll come. So you have to take your studs out of your original carb, all right, to put them in the China carb. A lot of people say, well, it's wrong because you got to go buy bolts to bolt it in. You don't have to do that. Just take the two nuts, okay? So I have the two nuts here that I just took off for the intake manifold. I already took this stud out right here. So you're just going to take one, spin it on, take another one, spin it on. Make sure the first one's on enough so that the second one can get full threads on there. Take a 10mm wrench, and you're just going to tighten them against each other. The same way if you pull out some studs, like engine studs for one of those small CC engines. Sometimes you got to remove the studs. It's the same idea. You're just locking these two together. All right, so now they're locked together. So then you just back out the inside one. All right, and the stud's going to come out. Now when the stud comes out here, you do the same thing here. You just put them in like this. You screw it in the new one. If you want to put some Loctite in there so they stay. So when you're changing it out, you don't have to worry about it. All right, but there's our stud now. Okay, just took it out of there. Real simple. Now you just loosen these two apart and you have your stud, okay? And you can kind of see there's a little lip on it. See if you guys can see it. There's a little lip on the inside, so when you screw it back in, you can just screw it until it bases out on that. All right, but that's how you get those studs out, so let's get back to the review. All right, so here you can see how that I swapped out the cable top right here. This one comes in at the angle, the other one was straight, so I had to run the cable underneath the frame here, so we'll keep an eye on that. Also, here's the choke issue. You can see the choke arm right there. As soon as I move it up a hair, it hits the frame. I only have one bolt in the carburetor now, but I'll show you what it does. Right there. Boom. It's on the frame. So that's as much as you can choke it. So I'm going to have to switch that out. I'm going to do that now before I put it all the way on. Alright, so here it is all mounted up with the choke lever swapped over. Gas is on. Switch is on. Let's see what it does. This is the first time kicking it. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, ooh. Let's choke completely off. So I think with the choke on, it was flooding a little bit. Took the choke completely off, kicked it, and here we are. It's a brand new rebuilt engine, so I'm not gonna rev it up too much. Alright guys, so that's it. It was pretty simple. I changed the choke lever over just to make it fit the frame. I had to do that. It was pretty simple. It was a 7mm nut. Just pulled it out, pull the arm off. When you slide the new one in, you just got to make sure you line it up with the choke arm so it's all working good. Put that back together. That was pretty simple. Messed with the mixture screw a little bit, but left the jets the way they were. Remember the throat of it's a little different diameter, so you can't just go with your stock jets. You're gonna have to do a little bit of jetting, but I didn't have to do any with this one. It smells a little bit rich. When I take it out riding, I'll probably find out the same thing. That's a little bit on the rich side, and I'll lean it out a little bit. But I mean, look at this thing. I mean, it starts up, runs great. So you can see it's dark outside. I'm not going to run around the neighborhood now, but I mean, throttle response is good. Running fine. Can't get much easier for that. I think that carburetor cost me $25, I think. You know, I mean, so I think it was totally worth it, guys. If you got a bike, an old bike like this, I mean, you know, 40-year-old bike, throw a $25 carburetor on and have everything running good again. I mean, when the carbs get as bad as these, you know, a little bit of water inside there, and that thing is just toast. So I couldn't rebuild that one, or if I would have, you know, a lot of people say just rebuild the factory one, and I would agree with that. If you can do that, I prefer the factory jets, factory carbs if you can, but if you can't, these are the options you have out there, and that's why I wanted to make the comparison video, so you guys can see what you're getting and see what it takes to put it on. I mean, it was pretty simple. You saw the studs you have to take out of the old carburetor to put into the new one. Putting them into the new one, it was a little tight in there, but the threads are the same. Just double nut again, tighten them up, and screw them in there. And then split the two nuts apart and take the two nuts off and you're good. So I'm using that same thing. Or you can just buy, if you want, some regular bolts to bolt the carburetor to it so you don't have to move the studs over. But I like to try to keep it as factory as possible. So guys, hopefully you like this video and it helps you out. If you like it, please hit the like button. It helps me out. Subscribe to my channel. I put videos up every Monday for you guys. All kinds of different stuff I do in here. And hit the bell for further notifications, guys. Until next time, this is Tepco Cycle Repair.